So since lockdown, it seems like everyone's gone banana bread crazy. There's even talk of banana bread burnout. But don't worry, don't panic. We're gonna keep things fresh. We're gonna bring the summer holiday vibes into this recipe with mango, pineapple, and coconut for a tropical twist. But it's still gonna be a real banana bread. It's gonna be low sugar, no frostings, no icings, and super simple to make. Sound good? Let's get baking. There can't be anyone out there who doesn't already know that overripe bananas make the best banana bread. You definitely want them slightly brown, at least as brown as this. They can be a lot browner than this though, and they still make a great banana bread. Now I'm a bit nerdy and I love consistency. Rather than saying 2 medium-sized bananas, we're going to weigh the bananas for this recipe. I want 214 grams. And although I'm going to use a stand mixer for the mixing process, I'm going to mash these with a fork first. I found that gives an extra little bit of lightness into the finished banana bread. We're going to get the rest of our fruit ready at this stage. I'm going to use 62 grams of dried mango and the same weight of pineapple in this recipe. I prefer dried to fresh. I'm going to cut this nice and small into lots of little pieces so that the fruit is evenly distributed throughout the banana bread. To decorate the cake, I'm going to use fresh fruit, not dried. I'm going to use 31 grams of fresh pineapple and 120 grams of fresh banana. That's about it on the fruit prep. So before we get started on the wet mix, I'm going to get my oven pre-warmed to 155 degrees C and get my 1 pound loaf tin lined and greased, ready to go. So onto the wet mix now, and I'm going to use melted coconut oil for this recipe. And if you're having a proper summer, your coconut oil may already be melted in the jar, but here in the UK, we've got to melt our coconut oil over a bowl of hot water. And I'm using 50 grams of raw coconut oil. That's the one that's got the biggest coconut punch. If you want to dial it back a little bit, you could use culinary or deodorized coconut oil, it's sometimes called, and that's a much more mild coconut flavor. Or if you want to use a different oil, then sunflower oil or rapeseed oil, canola oil, they work really well as well. They give a slightly stickier crumb, and they also give a more banana-y flavor because it's not competing with the coconut quite so much. Next, vanilla essence. I'm going to use 5 grams of that. If you want to have a bit of a summer party with this, then feel free to use Malibu, which is vegan, or you can use rum as well. They both really work. I'm going to get my mashed up banana into my mixing bowl. Then I'm going to add my coconut oil and the vanilla. Apple cider vinegar, I'm going to use 16 grams of that. Golden castor sugar, 86 grams of that. I tried coconut sugar on this and that worked really well, but it did give quite a dark crumb, so I'm going to stick with the golden castor sugar so I can see the fruit in every slice. I'm going to mix this for 8 minutes on speed 3 with a whisk attachment to break up those lumps of banana and at least partially dissolve the sugar. So whilst my wet mix is mixing, I'm going to weigh out my dry ingredients, and I'm going to start with 18 grams of pea protein. Check out my other video to find out the power of pea in vegan cakes. I'm then going to use 176 grams of white spelt flour. I'm going to use 5 grams of baking powder, 3 grams of bicarbonate of soda, 2 grams of salt. So for a little kick, I'm going to use 4 grams of ground ginger. If ginger's not your bag, then cinnamon works just as well in this recipe. So I'm going to sieve my dry ingredients, and I'm going to help the last little bit of flour through the sieve. And to build on the summer vibe, I'm going to use 44 grams of desiccated coconut. This gives a lovely flavour and a soft, tender crumb. You can use ground almonds if you prefer, if you're not a coconut like me. And I'm going to stir these through until the ginger is really evenly distributed. So now my wet ingredients have finished mixing. I'm going to swap over the attachment for the paddle. I'm then going to add my dry ingredients, and I'm going to mix for 30 seconds on speed 1. So the batter looks quite thick at this stage. Don't be tempted to add any extra liquid. It's meant to be like that. The desiccated coconut is quite a dry ingredient, sort of soaks up quite a bit of the liquid. So I'm going to stir through half my fruit first, give it a quick stir, and then the remaining half, and give it a final stir. Don't overmix at this stage. I'm going to tip it out into my tin. Smooth the top out with a palette knife. Make sure the top is nice and level. Now I'm going to add my bananas. I'm going to press these into the batter slightly. I'm going to finish off by adding my pineapple on top. I'm going to bake that at 155 degrees C for 58 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. This looks good. Look at the banana, how it's caramelized slightly with a slight sort of suntan, and it smells fantastic. I can smell coconut definitely, and I'm getting a hint of ginger already. Can't wait to taste it. Got to wait about half an hour for it to cool down, but as soon as that's ready to eat, I'm going to be digging in. So our sunshine banana bread is out of the oven and cool. It looks super pretty. Can't wait to taste this, so I'm going to dive straight in. The crumb looks fluffy, nice and open textured. You can see a few flecks of desiccated coconut. You can definitely see the fruit in that as well. Beautiful. So the first thing that bursts through is the coconut. It's beautiful. It's not too sweet though. You could definitely get away with this for breakfast, I think. The banana's still there in the background, and there's a lovely bit of warmth there from the ginger as well. It's got a soft and light texture, and I think whipping the banana and adding that desiccated coconut really have worked a treat. Overall, I'm chuffed to bits with this. I hope this gave you some ideas to keep your banana breads fresh and interesting. The recipe's in the description box below and on my website. If you make it at home, I'd love to see how they came out, so don't forget to tag your photos on Instagram. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, you know the deal by now. Cheers for watching, see you in the next one.